What are subtle, unspoken signs that someone had an extremely traumatic childhood/life? Insanely independent. They've learned not to trust anyone to help them, so do everything themselves. Noticing minutiae of body language and habits. They develop high levels of awareness of subtle behaviors in an attempt to prevent or prepare for abuse. An overdeveloped sense of responsibility. When someone feels the need to fix everything and everyone around them, it's often because they had to grow up too fast. They learned early that the world is chaotic, and their survival depended on controlling what little they could. It's a silent cry for stability in a life that never offered it. Low self-esteem, difficulty accepting compliments, or constantly feeling inadequate. Not being able to handle little things life throws at you, but able to leap mountains when all hell breaks loose. Hypervigilance. Being overly defensive. They're so used to being attacked/criticized/insulted, they're constantly ready to play defense. Asterisk always apologizes for everything. Asterisk asks, "Are we okay? Or did I do something wrong?" all the time. Asterisk cannot take compliments. Asterisk does not believe everything is okay. Asterisk is not able to relax even if nobody is at home. Always afraid to be seen as lazy and not worthy. But this is just me. Over-apologizing for everything, even when it's not their fault. It's like they're constantly afraid of being a burden or upsetting someone. Addiction issues. Escapism. Shutting down when confronted with anything not viewed as positive feedback. Control issues. People who try desperately to control their surroundings, their life, or try to prevent bad things from happening by overthinking and overanalyzing are usually compensating for the lack of control they experienced in their childhood. Or at least that's my problem. Well, going out of your way to please someone, especially if you care about them. I mean, like really over the top. People tend to assume it's the opposite, that they're always closed off. While that can definitely be true, obviously, the range of reactions to trauma vary as wildly as the people themselves. I've found that a lot of people really go overboard with keeping their friends, or especially their significant other, taken care of. Lack of self-care. I wear shoes till they're falling apart and have holes in. Early childhood neglect has you feeling like you're unimportant, so this can show outwardly. Also, rabid mental health issues. Toxic productivity. Not being able to relax if there are dirty dishes in the sink, homework undone, etc. The loneliest people are the kindest. The saddest people smile the brightest. The most damaged people are the wisest. All because they don't wish to see anyone else suffer the way they did. Jalal Fernandez. Apologizing constantly because they were blamed for everything and punished for everything that went wrong. So now they apologize even when they are wrong because it's so ingrained in them. The intense fear in their eyes and shift in personality and body language whenever a situation begins to go bad. They may respond to fear/stress with panic or anger, and even small schedule changes can completely disrupt them. They may also be violently avoidant of certain places or things that don't always make sense to you, and sometimes these things can trigger them. Often, but not always, they'll be people pleasers to their own detriment out of a need to keep the peace. The need to vanish. I dress and act to blend in. I do not want any attention in my direction. Damn, that moment when you realize all the comments perfectly describe you. Early maturing, dead eyes, distant stare, work obsessed because I always want to be busy, desire for control of my situation, difficulty expressing emotions, putting on mask, physical reactions to things around/near me, not liking unwanted touching, can be defensive about things, sense of responsibility, always trying to care for people around me, etc. I'd also add severe trust issues. Flinching when someone reaches towards them, silently accepting terrible behavior from a friend/partner, smiling through tears and telling everyone they're fine. And my most personal one, hugs make me cry as I only receive them with the worst of the worst news. Hugs aren't happy/comforting things. An incredible sense of humor. A mature or old soul child. Difficulty trusting others can be a sign. I'm so tired. Just turned 40 but I feel 80. Have a lot of autoimmune and health issues I shouldn't have yet. I have such a good life now and beautiful family, but am world-worn weary. I keep fighting to be more healthy for them. Am not usually bitter, but it hurts to know I had to spend the first 25-30th years of my life just fighting to survive because of everything that happened from 0 to 25. Time when my peers were focusing on getting master degrees and careers, I was just trying so hard to survive in the world and function with CPTSD. I don't tell people about my childhood anymore. I let others talk, but I don't contribute. People-pleasing. Hyper-independence. They never had anyone they could rely on, so they do it all themselves. Staying in toxic relationships and work environments, they feel familiar. Gaps in their memory. Entire multi-year chunks of their childhood they cannot describe, lost to dissociative oblivion. Difficulty establishing clear, logical timelines of events for the few things they do recall. Numbing themselves to their own suffering. Like, if they crack jokes during really serious personal events where most people would be either crying or distraught. My ex used to constantly hide stuff because he was worried that it would make me upset and blow up at him. Not even serious stuff, but like, he'd avoid telling me that he agreed to go over to his sister's for Sunday night dinner or something. I absolutely do not have a temper. I don't think I've raised my voice once in my adult life. I'm pretty much the chillest guy you'll ever meet, but still he was worried about me losing my temper. This thread is reading like a personal checklist of my own character. If they cry without making noise. Unexpected acts of kindness always catch me off guard. Early maturating and dead eyes. They flinch easily. A hiring manager told me to hire children of alcoholics because they will do everything they can to make sure things come out right. They might have a hard time with trust and avoid certain topics and conversations. This thread hits hard, resisting dark joke I relate to, but I really hope today treats you all better than the previous days, love. Being positive and charismatic. Fish in the water networkers. A delight to communicate, aren't we? The moment when we are silent and do not put up the whole Broadway show. You see the real us. We are good networkers because we are constantly watching. We know how to say the right things, learned the hard way. We are empathetic and you feel heard. We are showing our void of unease and pain down our throats in the process.